The Calgary Police Service Sex Crimes Unit has charged a man in relation to a sexual assault and forcible confinement that occurred earlier this month. The victim met a man through a dating website and subsequently made arrangements to meet him on Wednesday, October 4th, 2017, at a hotel in southwest Calgary. It is alleged that during the course of 11 hours, the victim was physically assaulted, sexually assaulted, prevented from leaving the hotel, and burned. The victim's property was also damaged. The victim was able to escape when the man stepped out for a short time. The woman ran to the front lobby and asked the clerk to call a cab. After she got home and disclosed to her family what had happened, police were called and an investigation ensued. The suspect was identified and warrants were issued for his arrest. He was located Friday, October 13th, 2017, in a different hotel in South Calgary. Vasilios Billy GEORGOPOULOS, 37, of no fixed address, is charged with sexual assault, forcible confinement, assault with a weapon, uttering threats, and mischief, damage to property under $5,000. He will next appear in court Thursday, October 26th. The Calgary Police Service encourages anyone who's been a victim of a sexual assault to report it by calling 403-266-1234 or 911 if in immediate danger.
Can you
Questions?
give us a little background of, can you tell us what dating site and how they met, or anything you can about what led up to the...
I can't get into the actual specifics of which dating website. As you can tell, I don't want to disclose any information about the victim. She's from a small town in Alberta, and I don't want to disclose any factors that may identify her. All I can say is that they did meet on a dating website, and that a date was struck between the two. And I can tell you that she was generally an innocent victim looking for a potential date and did not consent to what occurred in that hotel room.
Did they meet outside of Calgary and then come to Calgary?
I don't have any answers with respect to that. All I can say is that they did hook up in a hotel in Calgary.
Any idea? Can you tell us which hotel?
No, I can't. Sorry.
No, I have to ask.
No.
Okay. How about the suspect? Can you tell us, does he have a history with police, anything in the past?
Yes, he is known to police in Calgary and Central Alberta.
Previous charges, can you talk about
I can't speak to those at all.
From Calgary? No fixed address or?
He frequents both areas. He does have some affiliations to the city of Calgary and also in Central Alberta.
Can you be more specific on towns?
No, I can't, sorry.
Can you comment at all, like we don't want to victim blame at all too, is there a caution that we should put out there for if they met at the hotel? It's just, is that a, I don't know, it's hard to say, is that a risky behavior or whatever, but.
No, I think, you know, if anyone who's partaking with the dating websites, that, you know, it might be advantageous to meet somewhere public where there's lots of people around on the initial first date. Obviously know, based on the information that you have, that the person that you're meeting is in actual fact the person from the website. I believe that if you, you know, have a plan in place, you know, that you can say, you know, if you're uncomfortable or if, you know, your spidey senses are going off, then you have a route to leave. And I think you let your family and friends know that you're meeting someone from a dating website. So I think those are all positive factors.
I don't want, if you want to reiterate too, that obviously it's not the victim's fault, didn't want anything to do with what happened there too. But
no, absolutely. Like I said, she was truly an innocent victim and was looking obviously to partake in potentially a relationship, and certainly did not consent to the behaviors that she was forced to.
Can you tell us how old she was, or does that have a bearing on things?
And that's the other reason why I didn't want to disclose any information about the victim, because she is from a small town, and I certainly wouldn't want to have any leeways to potentially having her identified.
Adult, obviously.
Not a minor, definitely an adult, for sure.
You mentioned she was burned, so she was tortured?
Well, I would say it'd be a form of torture, but I don't want to get into specifics of how she was burned as part of the investigation, but she did receive some burn marks.
how would you encapsulate this? Like, is it just kind of a heinous thing that happened, or was it just?
Yeah, this is quite a traumatic event for this woman, and the fact that she's now surrounded by support from her friends and family. And again, any type of these offences, we front load with our community partners from CASA and from CSART, who's the doctors and nurses that provide medical care to these individuals. So we rely strongly on our community partners to provide that support.
I know this may be a duplication, but if you could just repeat again, what are the words of caution to people who are meeting up with unknown people they don't even know through these types of circumstances?
Well, I think to stress the fact that if you're going to go and meet somebody for the first time, that you do it in a public place, that you have friends and family know where you're meeting this individual, and that if something is hanky or if something doesn't feel right, then you have an avenue where you can leave, and then listen to those things that are telling you that this is not safe or this is not feeling right, and then you have the ability to say, I'm out.
Can you say whether this was through a dating website, but was it a misrepresentation of who this guy was? You're mentioning that's one of the things, make sure it's actually the person that you sort of thought, but was there a misrepresentation on this?
No, I can't get into specifics of that, but I can certainly, again, reiterate the fact that this woman was potentially looking for a relationship and did not consent to the behaviors that she was exposed to. She was quite traumatized by that. And I would say, in answer your question, that would be a form of misrepresentation, because certainly she didn't sign up for that.
They didn't meet before this at all? Like, did they
that
talk before
I'm
this?
unsure of. That I wouldn't have an answer to.